starting to look like a guitar now. We've glued the top to the sides and we can now switch to the back. We have some work to do before we can actually glue the back on, of course. Maybe you have to clean up a bit inside the box, maybe you have some squeeze out of the glue, and then we have to copy the curve of the back to the sides. And let's see, we have to make some, what they call peones de varas in Spanish, and bracket I suppose, and you put them under the bars for reinforcement. And let's see, well, there's the curved linings of course, but before that we have to make the curve in the sides. Body depth depends on the sound you're looking for. If you're building a classical guitar, then 100 millimeters approximately, so a bit under 4 inches is a good depth at the heel, and it's 6 millimeters or a quarter inch less at the, sorry, the tail, and a quarter inch less at the heel. So let's start with that. Good. The sides are now curved and they're all right for the back to be fitted. First, of course, we're going to have to glue the curved linings and make the tentalones, or the brackets. I'll show you that in a minute. The curve of the sides is 6 millimeters. What that is, the center line is 6 millimeters higher than the sides, and also the highest point of the curve from tail to neck is somewhere, not really in the middle, but somewhere here in this part just under the waist. And so it goes up 3 millimeters and then down 3 millimeters, and the total difference is 6 millimeters, so that's a quarter inch. If you're building a classical guitar, as I said, then 4 inches or a little under 4 inches, and a quarter of an inch less there, so 100 millimeters to 94. If you're building a traditional flamenco, then maybe go as low as 85 millimeters here and 91 there. I'm sort of in the middle, but towards the deeper end on this guitar. So it depends on the sound that you're looking for. To make the brackets, you take a small piece of wood that's left from the neck, or maybe the braces, and I start by making those 8 by 8 millimeters. So you can make a special little tool, helper tool, to hold the bracket, but I just put it in a vise, and I blame my students if I see any marks on the vise of the chisel. So let's see. So first you sort of rough shape it like this. Shape it like that, so it's sort of wedge shaped like this, and I like to cut off a bit at the end like this. The brackets serve as a support for the braces, of course, but they also serve as a reinforcement for the sides. But we need some additional reinforcement, like this, small strips like this that go on the side just between the curved linings. I use 5 by 2 millimeters German spruce, and that's some leftover material from the top. So I just put it in the vise like this and make it 5 by 2. And when I've done that, it's about right. And you can leave it square if you like. I like to round it off a bit, so I take my chisel and sort of make it semicircular. The brackets and side reinforcement is now glued to the sides, so now we can start fitting the back, and that's basically the same procedure as the top, only instead of 2 braces we now have 3, and we don't take out the whole part of the curved lining, but only the part where the brace fits, so you get a nice and snug joint. Before you can start fitting the top, maybe you'll want to take out your radius board and make sure that the curved lining is flush with the sides. And before you glue the back on, you will want to make sure that you take these out. next morning we have something that's starting to look a lot like a guitar. Let's see. Very nice. I'll tap the plates and see if you can remember how they sounded when they weren't glued to the sides yet, and see how gluing to the sides affected the sound. And we're ready for binding.